Forgot I got the Trans Am back.
And these videos, I know these videos aren't for everybody. So I went down to the transmission shop. I was debating, I think I can rebuild this transmission. I've never done it, but it's only that big. I mean, how much? So anyway, I asked the guy, the owner, how much would it be to rebuild the transmission if I took it out and brought it down to him? He said $1,500 to $1,600. So I said, how much would it be if I brought the car down and you pulled it out and put it back in? He says about $2,800. And of course, it's always going to cost more. There's always going to be something they find. I said, well, how much for a rebuild kit? And he said, well, I purchased it. It's with tax. It was $240. So if I can do this, if I can do it, you're going to know how to do it, because I'll show how to do it. And if I fail, I fail. When I went down there, I said, I'm here for a 64 Galaxie, and he said, the guy's so busy. Like I said, I've been there before. He goes, you mean the blue one out there? Exactly the same color. So then I said, well, can I go look at it? Because it had a tarp over the top. I just thought I'd take this picture. I'm at this transmission shop ordering my transmission kit. And there's a 64 Galaxie here. Again, I've never seen this, but here's the console if you've never seen one. That way I can remember it. I don't know if this is an X. This is an XL, I guess. Number Z. I think that's a 390. Drum brakes. So I'm just comparing this. Like I said, mine's a 289. There's a regulator in this one. No, it's got a generator, but it's down low. I meant to say alternator, but it's got a generator. Same. Looks like the wiper motor has been updated. Remember I was talking about my automatic transmission? Wires going down. I don't see that on this car. Updated oil something. Oil filter housing, I guess you call it. Fuel pump. Just gonna look at these brackets while I'm here. This is a different power steering. That looks like a stock one. I must have an aftermarket. So anyway, this is what it looks like with a 390. Anybody that has a 390. It's got an electric choke. It's like a 4-barrel. There's the starter. So that's it. So anyway, since I'm down here, I got my trusty cart. I always have my cart. I'm gonna half-ass these wires back together with whatever I have. Just like I said, just want to make sure it works. I don't like these connectors, but this is what I got. I'm gonna upgrade this. This is just like you pinch it. So look at that. I pinched it and it's coming right out of there. You need the kind that wraps, or I need the kind that wraps all the way around and squeezes it. The only other connection that I've taken apart was I undid these wires and there was a jumper here. This was not hooked up. I gotta fix these battery connections. In the future, You know, at first I'm just going to crank it over with that disconnected. It shouldn't start. Okay, it's in park. It won't even crank. It won't even crank. So, see, how do I put this together? Try it now. It's not cranking, so is it that connection? Or is the battery dead? It's gotta be this. Now we'll try it. Okay. If you were to buy this car and it wouldn't start, how would you, and this was all taped up, how would you know that that was it? Unless you went through a bunch of stuff. So be really careful when you take anything apart. So that's telling me that the reason they had that jumper is this switch was bad. It probably took them an hour to figure it out. So this car will start with that jumper in. What that is that's an interruption to the starter. It's like a switch. The switch is off to the starter from the key. So it goes from the key, through a bunch of stuff, but then it goes down to that switch up here. So now I'm going to put the car in, let's say, drive. I hope it doesn't go through the wall. Okay, it's in neutral. I'm going to put it in drive because we know we don't have any forward gears. Or we hope we don't. It's starting in drive. Starting in low. Across on the lift. So the car is on the air. If it does start in drive, it's not gonna kill me. So right now it's starting in every gear. Okay, here we go again. Park. Reverse. Neutral. Drive. Drive. I didn't even give it any gas. Whoa. It's starting in every gear. It shouldn't do that. So I don't know, switch isn't working down below. That's what it means. That somehow that switch is on all the time. So when that is connected, it must have disconnected it all the time. And this transmission is called a dual-o-matic according to the book. But it starts. That's all I care about right now. So again, if I do any more steps, like if I replace a generator or something, if I leave this as it is and I replace the generator and it doesn't start, then I know it's something that I did there. Or you see that? You see it says park, reverse, neutral, and then it's got a little dot drive and a second dot drive. This is a different transmission. This is a dual-matic or something. So again, I can't remember where I found the information, but looking at this, I have a C4 dual range. That's what that little indicator is. The other ones that came, other automatic that came, is cruise-o-matic. Before, when I was cranking it, the transmission, the starter wasn't catching. If you watch that video where I started the car, But it was cranking, it was just like it wasn't catching. So let me try that a few more times. Okay, well, I don't want the car to start, I just want it to crank. So I'm just gonna disconnect this coil. Hope I don't break the wire. Man, that sucker's tight. Okay, it shouldn't start now. Okay, so I'm in the car, the coil's disconnected. I'm just gonna try it a few more times. It's in park. There it goes. Hear it? Okay. Something's wrong with that starter. So the next thing I want to do is, I'm not going to mess with that. Everything works. I'm going to take the starter off. Before like I said, I want to do an alternator reconfiguration and all that, but right now, one thing at a time, even if it costs me a little bit more money, I want to get a new starter. I'm going to keep the core, and we're going to switch starters, and we're going to see if that problem goes away. If it goes away, I'm going to take the starter apart, the core starter apart.